It's like in the same way that you had your Santa and Easter Bunny moments as a kid, it kind of gives you that as an adult again, where you have this moment where you're like, okay, is it or is it not real? But I feel like this wonder and I'm allowed to have this. It's like you can walk
Hmm.
downstairs and Santa Claus is at your front door and you're like, you have a moment where you're like, it's this real magical thing that you're seeing, and it allows you to be that little kid again. And I think almost everyone loved magic as a kid or had a magic set as a kid because they wanted to be able to give that feeling that they had to others and understand it and be on the other side of this Christmas miracle when it comes to knowing what's real and what's not in the world. And I think it gives you that. I think it allows you to wonder. I think it makes the world less impossible because the greatest thing about magic for me, which is not really what other, I'll say, normal people see, but with magic, you can create anything. You can walk around the world and be like, wow, it would be really cool if this car could drive through this bridge. It would be really cool if I could walk through water and breathe, and figure out ways to make that happen. It makes everything in the world feel more possible. And as a spectator, I think it's interesting to sit there and allow anything to happen. When you watch magic, there is no rules. There is no, well, he can or can't do that. It's this person can do anything. These things that I believe or think are impossible might just be possible. And for the next hour, I'm going to sit here and feel things that I haven't felt since I was a kid and just allow myself to feel wonder.
I love that. I love because I've never actually asked another creator that is, do you literally go round and see things and go, "Oh, I wish I could do that"? Because like anytime I see somebody, I go, "Oh, could I interview that? Could I do a thing on that? I'm really interested
Yeah.
in finding." And I know what you mean. It's that feeling of like, "Whoa, this is amazing. We can do." But I love seeing that look of like, "Whoa," when you do a card trick for somebody. Or I think I had a box of magic tricks when I was younger, and it was one of those you
Yeah.
hold the ball and it splits into the little balls with heat, and it was all
Yes.
these kind
Yeah.
of little tricks. And I think that's what's happened is people used to watch like these, the guy in the suit and it was very stale, very boring kind of tricks. And lately, we've kind of got into the cool magic. I mean, we were talking about Chris Angel before we started. One of my
Yeah.
favorite magicians. I love how he puts this kind of badass side of magic, and you've got this kind of cool, not cocky, but like kind of self assured, like it's you dialed that to 11. How have
Exactly.
you seen magic change since you saw like Sean Farquhar and all these other sort of people to the kind of magic you're doing now? Like, how do you define your style of magic, and how have you seen it evolve over the last? I know you've been doing it since you were about 7.
A little older, but yeah. Um,
Just a
I
little
think,
older. She's like 8.
it's like it might have been 8.
it's tr-
Okay,
it's quite
years matter.
it's quite amazing that like we're still you're still such a young person. I'm so used to people who've been in this for like 20, 30 years, and I'm like, God, she
Oh,
was
it
only in
feels like
school
my whole life.
recently.
I
It's
know. Well, I will
amazing.
say,
It's amazing you've
go
done so
ahead.
much at such a young age. I don't think you
Thank
appreciate
you.
just how unique and amazing you are to do this at such a young age. But
Thank you.
sorry for waffling, but how would
No,
you see it
hey, it's
change?
it's a compliment, and I appreciate that, thank you. I mean, I'll say back in the day when I started, I think magic looked very different still at the time, even though it was 10 something years ago to where it is now. I think when I started magic and you said you were a magician, it was kinda like, okay, it's like, people don't know how to respond to it, like, they kinda like magic or they don't like magic, it's like this unique, weird thing, okay, this is the magic girl, she's in her little box, but now, I think magic is doing better than it ever has because it's got a spot on TV for the first time ever in so many different lights,